Just a bit on rigs now and the materials that I use for the bulk of my fishing, and it's predominantly chod stroke supple hinge stiff rig fishing or solid bag fishing. And notice that I said subtle, or supple should I say, hinge stiff fishing. And rather than using the really stiff rigor mortis for the boom section, I tend to favour something like the Camo core. This one is the weed colour, £25, but it's really supple, the coating. And obviously by the coating I mean it's like it's a plastic coating over the top of the inner braid, so it's actually the braid that's £25 and not the outer coating. And by using a subtle one is when you're landing in a bit of weed, possibly where it's not quite weedy enough for a chod, but you know you still want to err on the side of caution. If you use something that's really stiff, and it's really ironic that years ago I used to use really stiff coated braids, and the problem with those is if they land in a weed or a bit of debris or even a twig, they tend to stick up quite a lot, whereas with something supple like the Camo core, it will take to the contours of the bottom. So I'll just have a length of that to a chod section, and I'll probably have about 12 inches of this, so quite a long length. And the theory behind that is that the rig can kind of move up and down quite a lot, so they'll pick it up, and if you have too short a length I think they'll suss the rig straight away. So I have about 12 inches and I would just put a little bit of putty just on the middle just to pin it down ever so slightly, so you want that rig just sinking ever so slowly. So that's the Camo core. The reaction braid, again, that's the weed. I use this in a solid bag, and I think that it doesn't really matter if it's £15, 20 or 25. The fact is I'm using a rig that's probably 2 or 3 inches long when I'm using a solid bag. So when you look at my solid bags all busted open in the edge, you can't even see the rig or the lead. All you see is the tiny pop-up sticking above the little bit of pellet. So everything is kind of masked. But what I can't get across enough is you don't want to use a rig that's sort of that long. You want a really short rig of about, say, 2 to 3 inches maximum. That way they come in on a solid bag, they see the upbait, the pellet is attracting them, they go down, it's just a mouthful and bang. That lead is driving the hook home straight away. So that's what you want with the reaction. A nice short hook link on a solid bag, and it's perfect for sort of one bite tactics.